for today's cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee.
We have some interesting noises in the background. We have the ceiling fan, which is making a weird noise, and I have sleeping kitty to my left who is snoring.
Yeah.
If you've never heard cats snore, it can be kind of disturbing, but also kind of comforting.
It's a comforting thing. It feels it sounds comforting, feels comforting.
Yeah.
Especially if they're like sleeping on your chest and then they start snoring. It's like, oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just one of those that, yeah, he's resting.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be uploaded on Memorial Day.
Yes.
And this is one of those things that I'm a very patriotic person.
You are.
And as far as I believe in the vision that America was founded upon, which was we the people.
Mm-hmm.
And we have had the flag on our porch because I actually did at one point study flag etiquette. Because of course I did. And there is an etiquette as far as with the codes and stuff. And when I was, when kids were in scouting, and I ended up being a Weeblos leader, that was interesting.
Weeblo?
Yes.
What's
Weeblos
a Weeblo?
is I guess it's a was, because the Boy Scouts of America are no longer.
Well, what's a Weeblo?
It stood for We Will Be Loyal Scouts. And this was the transition period between Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts.
Okay.
And part of it had to do with age groups.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was one of those that our nation has been having problems for a long time.
It has been.
And that there were those of us that were mothers that the reason that we had to fill the positions of leadership, there were not enough men willing to volunteer. Period. Flat out. And so it was a matter of us going and doing what we could to try to help these kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because we believed in the principles of the Scouts.
Yeah.
And, you know, so that was one of the things as far as teaching the children about the symbolism of the United States flag. And one of the things that when the flag is flying upside down, that's a distress symbol. It's a signal.
Yeah.
And one of the websites that I have found, which is First Amendment MTSU.edu, which was not well written, but it gave me the information that I needed. And it said that flags were once more commonly seen at sea than on land. And this is because most people know what country they are traversing, while the identity of a ship at sea would be harder to ascertain. Especially in times of war, it is important to be able to distinguish friend from foe, which could either be a foreign nation or a pirate ship. And there was somebody who had argued that the practice of flying a flag upside down was used by ships that were in distress and only much later became a symbol of their same political protest. And U.S. flag code, which is not legally enforceable, specifically says that the flag is not to be inverted except as a signal of dire distress in instance of extreme danger to life or property.
Yep.
Our flag has been flying inverted for years.
Yeah. Very much. For about 4 years now.
Oh, more than that. I think it's more than that. And Chuck Missler, God love him, he wore a lapel pin that when the flag was upside down for years, even before that.
Yeah.
Because he got it. He knew.
He did.
A lot of these people that studied eschatology, which was end times prophecy or Bible prophecy, some of the people that have been in the military and such, they have seen this coming for a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
This is spooky times we're in.
it is. It is very much spooky times we're in. But Memorial Day was originally, it was called Dedication Day. Let me go back to my webpage here because I had another one. And, that Decoration Day was to go and to the gravesides of these service members who, gave their lives in service to this nation. And that there used to be a lot of, if you want to call it pomp and circumstance, there is a need for ritual.
Right.
And decorum.
Yes.
And, to have reverence, because people have forgotten how to be reverent.
They have.
They have forgotten about things that are sacred.
Now explain what reverent means.
That means to... that's just like as far as when you go to a graveyard. You don't go through there hopping and skipping and stomping on the graves and different things like that, or tearing down the headstones or anything like that. It is a matter of, within your spirit, to be reverent, to have respect. And that is something that apparently some people were not taught. You've got a lot of people, I don't think that they were taught.
No.
And because that my father was in the Marines, my grandfather served in World War II. We had other family members that were in the service in various and sundry places. I was taught to respect this nation because that there were faces and families behind our freedom. And I have always been one of these people that has just been very vastly patriotic and that didn't take it for granted.
I mean, as Americans, we should have a amount of patriotic,
This is
us.
Yeah.
We should be proud of where we come from.
Yes.
And people have just been taught to be so disrespectful of our own country.
They've become very spoiled and
spoiled.
ungrateful.
Yeah. But the thing is, the leaders that we've had, not just during this time, but other times as well, they themselves had disrespected this country.
Absolutely. And this is one of the things, this is where we need to go back to we, the people.
Yes.
And I don't know that this one won't be yeeted off of YouTube.
You don't know that.
I don't know, but folks, if it does, whatever, if you wake up one day and again, and I'm not on YouTube, again, that's the reason for BitChute and Rumble and X.
But we should stand united.
One people, that the commonality is being American.
Yep.
Because we have had those, we falsely placed our trust in people that were not trustworthy.
Yes.
And that they have abused our trust. They have abused everything about the American people, including tax monies, to fund their whatever, wherever. And we had no clue. And it's like, God forgive us as a nation and a people, because that we falsely put our faith in these leaders instead of God. And that we did not hold these people accountable. And right now, we truly do have a shit show.
We do.
That's all that you can say. And we do ask for prayer.
Yes.
Because they are trying to divide the people every conceivable way. That's a demonic attack.
Absolutely it is.
Because the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy.
He does. He does.
And that you've got these powers that be that were not... I mean, there's question right now as far as when we go out to vote, does it matter? There is that question. That doesn't mean you get black-pilled and you don't do anything. That means you volunteer to watch some of the polls and some of the process. And don't leave it to somebody else. Be the change you want to see.
Right.
Be willing to put boots on the ground.
Yes.
And I think that's part of what happened to us, that it was, well, it's easier. Somebody else will do that. Instead of us getting involved with helping the homeless or helping the addicts or whatever, the government will step in and do that.
Yeah, it's passing the buck.
It is. So it falls back squarely in the laps also of we the people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like we had a Omega came stop by today, and he said that there was was the county seat, that they had wanted to put a drug treatment facility, which is so needed, and that the town council voted against it because they didn't want those people in their community. Those people are in your community. They're part of your community.
They are.
Deal with it.
Yes.
Deal with, these are people. They're hurting. They need help. And to those who denied them the ability to get help, people, it is hard. It truly is. Right here in Western Virginia, it is hard to find treatment facilities, especially if you don't have any kind of insurance. Mm-hmm. Don't assume everybody has Medicaid or whatever.
And the town over just recently denied a motion to build a rehab.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And so whoever those council members are, that is where people need to go. You know, first of all, who showed up at the town council? Was this private or was it public? You know, who was arguing on behalf of allowing the treatment facility to be, implemented?
Yeah.
And it's like to sit and talk to some of these people and say, can you explain to me your rationing? And I have gone to the town council. It's been years past. And those, John Fetterman was right when he said that we are not putting our best and brightest in government.
It's true. It is very much true. These people are incompetent.
Sometimes. It's almost like a popularity contest.
Yeah.
That or it's whoever has the most wealth or whatever. It's no longer. Trying not to get frustrated. Calm.
Focus.
I don't know when we lost the vision to put the people who would do the best job and was the most qualified, whoever that was.
I don't think any of us truly know. Because that's like, there's people up in White House, Supreme Court right now that are just not supposed to be up there.
We the people have been lied to.
For years.
We the people have been deceived.
For decades.
And so on this Memorial Day, it is a matter of regrouping. And we have some rough weather in this area. And please be in prayer because there's people that have had rougher weather to the west of us and stuff. So it was not, and I got to thinking about it. It's like, how is it that this day that is supposed to be solemn and sacred, and one to sit there and to thank people for their service, even if they were deceived, they went and they served. And how did that turn into a day of party and excess?
People forget. People either not acknowledging what it truly was or forgetting.
We the people had forgotten. It's exactly. For this Memorial Day, let us remember the principles that, this nation was founded on. Mm-hmm. And instead of sitting there nitpicking and further dividing and stuff, there is no nation on this earth, because there's no human on this earth that has not made mistakes and or has not sinned.
Exactly. We're human. We are fallible.
And as such, forgiveness is the key. And there is scripture, and I should have looked it up because I'm going to paraphrase, and the people's going to be saying, you should have looked it up. It says, if those who call themselves by my name will humble themselves and turn back to me, I will heal their land. Now would be a good time to be, remembering who God is, asking God for forgiveness, going back and finding out what His principles are. 10 Commandments. It's not hard.
And I just read through the 10 Commandments again earlier.
Yeah.
I needed a refresher.
Absolutely. And that was one of the things, and people's like, oh, separation of church and state and da-da-da. When they had the 10 Commandments, which is don't murder people, don't steal from other people, don't be going around sleeping with somebody else's wife, don't be covetous of other people.
Mm-hmm.
Did that hurt anything?
No.
Because sometimes that was the only piece of morality that a child read. So whoever it was allowed it to be taken out of the schools. I wonder if they're happy with their decision now.
Nope. But these people in the positions of power, whoever they are, whatever they are, that's exactly what they wanted.
Sure. Because it's not just our nation at this point. You have, as far as this cluster it is, if you want to call them globalists or whatever, that were not even voted on, that are determining what words we can use, what thoughts we can think, that they want to determine what and how much we consume of anything.
They don't want us to be independent. They don't want us
right.
to think for ourselves.
Right.
They don't want us to even listen to one another and listen to other people's opinions and all that.
Exactly. And a lot of times are they the ones that agitate these people to scream at each other and hate each other pointlessly or needlessly or without justification or cause? Yeah, devil, steal, kill, and destroy. This is a sober, somber time. And it's like, not trying to be a downer, but this is reality.
But also, it should be a matter of a celebration in a way, because they fought. And yeah, we have lost them in this life, but they're still up in heaven.
Right.
And thank God they don't have to see the state that the world is in right now.
Exactly. And it's up to us, we the people, to do what we can do as individuals and as a collective to rectify this, which is a matter of going out there and talk to your voting people. Find out who your elected people are, what they stand for. Call them. Sit there and go, hey, are you going to be at a meeting someplace? I would like to go and hear your positions on this and stuff. Because that's helping to hold them accountable.
It is.
And that is one of the wonderful uses of social media right now, is that you can record what they say. It's public record.
Yeah. They can try to wipe it off as much as they can.
Any person can be a reporter today. If you've got a cell phone, you can be a reporter.
Yes.
And if you're going to do that, please be a proper one, not one of these that's going out there trying to stir shit. That's not reporting.
No, it's not.
To simply ask a question, hear somebody's position on that. That used to be how people communicated. If everybody's screaming, nobody's listening.
Exactly.
Find out who these people are when they're running for election. If they don't follow through with their election promises, go to some of these town meetings, these council meetings, different things like that. And again, you can say, hey, you promised to do this during your campaign, and yet you have now voted against the very thing that people voted for you to do.
Yes.
There needs to be some reckoning as far as some of the things, the allegations have been so serious.
The thing is, they don't want to be held accountable, and so they're trying...
Nobody wants to be held accountable.
They're trying to take the power away from the people to even remotely hold them accountable.
Right. That is. Well, guess what? God is still God all by himself.
Exactly.
And they can sit there and they can make fun of him, and it's like he doesn't know. I've heard all this stuff about people who don't believe in God. Doesn't matter whether you believe in Him or not. He is.
And always was.
Yeah. So this is why we are in prayer all the time. But on this Memorial Day, let us truly remember. And if you see some of these folks that are in stores, especially the ones near and dear to my heart are the ones that, have the hats that they were in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
Because what those people endured while they were overseas was ridiculous. And then they came home and they endured worse. And for some of these that they're out there screaming and doing all this stuff and trying to tear this country down, somebody needs to suggest to them that they take action if they truly feel this strongly about these things. There are always volunteer organizations. I do believe somebody said that the Peace Corps still is. There are lots of organizations that do volunteer to go to some of these other nations to help, whether it's medically or agriculturally. There used to be an organization that would go to Africa and help them drill wells as far as water. Mm-hmm. So that and teach them how to grow their own food and different things like that. So if they really want to make a difference, they need to go and experience the world outside of the United States.
Yes.
They need to go and experience some of the parts of the United States. Have they volunteered as far as homeless shelters? Have they volunteered at some of the food banks or any of these things?
A lot of them have not.
Then they need, if they're not willing to put in the work, they need to shut up.
Yes. But it's usually the people who don't know shit, who don't do shit, that scream the loudest.
Yeah. So prayers. And it's like, this is very much supernatural. It is spiritual warfare all the way around.
Very much so.
Sorry for this one to be kind of sobering, but we're in sobering times. Kid, final thoughts?
Just pray for the country.
Mm-hmm.
But also understand that it will be over soon. It's coming. Rectification for all this shit is coming.
Yeah, there will be a day of reckoning one way or the other.
Yeah.
So, if you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, you can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And the email address is there in the description box.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate the ones that you have here still.
Yeah.
Family members.
Mm-hmm.
People that have served that
Memento
unit.
Mori.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining us. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, and share this video. Check her out on BitChute and Rumble at Werlanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, Werlanda COCWS. It's like a radio station call sign, so yeah.
Yeah, no, I subscribe to some cool people over there.
You do.
I really do. I
You
enjoy the
retweeted.
interaction.
Well, actually, it wasn't really a retweet that I saw of you. You retweeted someone's, commented on someone's tweet that was a AI generated cup of coffee with a skull.
Oh, absolutely. There's some
coffee.
people that are doing some AI art that's really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I subscribe to this lady that is an artist as far as visual, physical media. Her stuff is amazing. I enjoy her work.
Yeah.
Just people sharing thoughts and ideas and hope and laughter. You know, some of the laughter's a little on the, dark side. That's okay. Some of it's a little perverse. That's okay. You know, and it's in there with a good group of people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really enjoying them.
Yeah.
So it's
You're
not
very
as
selective.
bad as I thought it was going to be at all.
Nah.
Because I'm selective.
Yeah. You got to curate your own timeline for, to what you want.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure there's...
Although sometimes it is lawless on there, and so I don't know. Sometimes stuff comes on your feed that is like, what the fuck? I didn't want that.
Well, and
I didn't want that.
And it's one of those that, like I said, I'm sure there's lots and lots of wonderful people on there that I have no idea that they're there. The ones that are supposed to find me will find me. The ones I'm supposed to find, I'll find them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
a lot of things you put in God's hands.
Yes.
Know that you are loved. Treat other people the way that you would like to be treated.
Yep.
And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye.